Hey, wow. Who's got the stuff? Yeah, man. Hey, come on. You got the stuff? Let's have this. Jerry.
What's most important is what you think. So without any preaching from this film, let's examine the facts and only the facts. You wouldn't dare to do this on pot. Or this. Or this. And would you rather your pilot had just finished a joint, not a cigarette? Or your surgeon operating on your heart? Your attorney pleading your case? Your sergeant? Your dentist? Your flight leader? Your school bus driver? Your country's astronauts? Or even the guy who is just changing your front tire? Would you rather he was smoking a cigarette or a joint?
Nobody can tell me what to do with my own body, what I can eat, drink, or smoke. This is a free country, and nobody has the right to take away my constitutional rights.
That could be a fact if you were the only one affected by what you do. But the Constitution and the laws that came out of it were designed to protect the individual and the group from irresponsible individuals, which is why there are speeding laws, building safety laws, pure food laws, pure drug laws, laws to protect your money, laws to protect children, laws to protect the aged, and even a law to protect you from taking your own life. From the 10 Commandments to the Constitution, man has made laws to protect him from hurting himself in the common interest of the group called society. So, why not make it legal? Why not bring it out in the open and make it legal in America? It's just that there are too many unstable people in America who would become emotionally dependent on marijuana and end up as non-functioning weed heads. If the acknowledged effect of marijuana is much greater than alcohol, it becomes easy to see why the emotionally unstable and immature may turn to marijuana in even greater numbers than to alcohol, and eventually go to more dangerous drugs in the form of LSD, pills, and heroin.
Who, me?
Who, me?
Who, me?
Who, me?
It's possible.
Who, me?
And that's the problem. You can never tell who is so stable and so emotionally secure that they will not become dependent on marijuana or other drugs for pleasure and full-time escape.
Man, everybody blows pot.
But everybody doesn't blow.
I don't want it, man. I don't want it.
Take a hit. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. No. Take a drag. It won't hurt you. Come on. You got it.
The first sign of character and emotional weakness is when you do things just because others are doing them. Let's face it. The reasons we've heard for blowing grass up to now are like an iceberg. What about the underlying reasons that are like the 90% of the iceberg you never see? The reasons below the surface. Let's hear from those other teenagers who aren't smoking pot.
Not all teenagers are on grass. I'm not, and my close friends aren't.
Every time someone wants to turn me on to pot, they tell me I'll discover myself. Well, I don't need that kind of crutch. Besides, I've never seen any potheads come up with any kinds of answers that help them cope with the kind of problems they have, or I have.
I think that parents have done the best they can. You can't expect them to know all the answers. Lots of us have had a better education than they have, but that doesn't prevent us from profiting from their experience.
No, not for me. I'm more interested in dropping into the world I live in than turning on, tuning in, and dropping out.
I think too many teenagers traded in their idealism for a stick of weed. When I see some teenagers acting superior to those of us who don't need drugs to feel good or understand ourselves, I get real bugged.
What you do with your life is up to you. If you become a pothead, you risk blowing the most important time of your life, your teenage. That unrepeatable time for you to grow up and to prepare for being an adult that can handle problems and make something meaningful out of life. Or you have the choice to have the courage to see and deal with the world for what it really is. Far, far from perfect, but for you and for me, the only one there is. While it's true that some of you will actually go to the moon and perhaps other planets, it's also true that in a few short years, this world will be your establishment, and you will be the establishment. And what you do or don't do about it will be your scene. You're the generation with the brain power and the opportunity to do more for the human needs of this world than any other generation in history. Let's hope that your teenage children don't have too much criticism about what you did or didn't do because you were on pot.